said maybe Kupp would sign by the end of the night. Hasn't happened. Still out there, still waiting.
Still very much available.
In free agency. We want the Patriots to add to their offense. Cooper Kupp would be one of those names. Meanwhile, they have subtracted from their offense. And it feels like a legit subtraction. Patriots released David Andrews.
Yeah.
And I can't tell if he's retiring or if he still wants to play. He has not retired yet.
No, but they officially released him. They even had a thank you on Twitter, Instagram.
I wonder if it's a bookkeeping thing and he's going to hang him up. The only reason I wonder that is Mike Reese tweeted out, and you're right, the Patriots have confirmed it. They sent out an email. They put out a tweet. Reese says the Patriots are making a change at center with plans to release franchise pillar and 8-time captain David Andrews today. Andrews is recovering from shoulder surgery. If he decides to retire,
okay, all right.
The expectation is the team would host a ceremony for him to honor his widespread contributions over the last decade.
What an odd detail.
So Reese is like, I know they have a ceremony planned. If he just so happens to retire, I'd feel way better about it.
Save the date for a ceremony?
And not like I'm rooting for the end of David Andrews' career or anything like that. Great Patriot.
Stud.
An all-time great Patriot, offensive lineman, one of the best offensive linemen of the last decade. Big factor in the Dynasty 2.0. Great Patriot. So I'm not rooting for the end of his career, but I'd feel much better about him, this being a bookkeeping thing and him retiring versus they're cutting him and he's going to go play somewhere else.
It's a weird move if that's the case, just because their offensive line blows.
Yep.
And we look at it and say, all right, you got Mike Onwenu, and what position is he going to play? That's sort of a debate. But if he's a right guard, you have a right guard. You still have 4 openings. And you're like, well, David Andrews, now he was hurt last year. He's coming off an injury, and he is, 32, going to be 33 for the season. But his last 5 years, he played in 12 games in 2020, played in all 17 in 21. He missed 3 games in 22, played in all 17 in 2023, and then, of course, last year got knocked out early and only played in 4 games. But a little bit more durable than I think I thought, just because
feels like he's missed more games.
Yeah, and it just, the offensive linemen in general have missed so many games, and then missing the, really all of Drake May's starts last year. That was pretty devastating. But, if he was, got the surgery and rehabbed and came back, I would pencil him in as the center. So that is weird. It's like you have so many needs on the team, and by moving on from David Andrews, you've now created another one. Now, unless they think Cole Strange is just going to be the center, or I don't know what.
Well, you do have
Campbell at 4. Be playing center.
You do have some idea, Keefe, and you guys can jump in 617-779-7937. You highlighted to me a tweet from Chad
Kraft.
Graf,
it says here
at The Athletic.
Garrett Bradbury is someone to quote keep an eye on. He is the is the Vikings center. But then they signed Ryan Kelly, so maybe they're going to get rid of him. So Garrett Bradbury is maybe a name to keep an eye out for. But
okay, so the Vikings wanted to move on from him,
yeah,
and brought in Ryan Kelly, and he was the 8th. I was just looking this up. He's the 18th overall pick in 2019.
Right, yeah, first rounder.
He started all 88 games he's played in his career.
Like, okay, I guess, but
he does have 2 catches in his career, Keith. But,
hell yeah!
But ready for this? I would say he doesn't already look like the most durable guy. Like, honestly, David Andrews might be more durable than this guy based on the numbers you just read.
That's not good.
In his career, starting in 2019, 16-16, good,
nice.
13-12, 14. Last year he did play 17 games, but that's a chunk of time where he's missed
missing
games
a handful
in there.
of games each time.
And I don't know. Did it feel like the Vikings' offensive line at the end of the year was doing a good job for Sam Darnold? No.
Well, Sam Darnold wasn't doing himself any favors, but you're right, the line wasn't great.
But they protected Sam Darnold most of the year. They fell apart late in the year. I'd say the same thing about Cam Robinson, who I would hold my nose and sign if I'm the Patriots. I'm not anti-Garrett Bradbury. If Andrews retired, fine, there's your Andrews replacement. Is he an upgrade on David Andrews if Andrews wants to keep playing? I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of Vikings football, but I don't think so.
So The Andrews one does confuse me a little bit, but overall, last year, we kind of killed him for re-signing so many players from a bad team.
That's true.
So the fact that they're moving on from a bunch of players from a bad team, some of the veteran guys, like they're moving on from, overall, I'm okay with that. I just wouldn't have put him on my list. I would have been like, all right, keep him. Like on offense, I would have said, keep Drake May, keep Hunter Henry, keep David Andrews and Onwenu,
right,
and kind of build out the rest of it. But, yeah, getting rid of him is sort of a head-scratcher, especially if he continues playing. Well, I mean, only if he keeps playing. This might be a money thing, but if he goes and signs like a 1 or 2 year deal with somebody else, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, what?
I know how Mike Reese tends to report on stuff, and when he says, I have no idea if Andrews is going to keep playing or not or what his plan is, but I do know if he retires, the Patriots have a ceremony planned. So I like to think that's Reese's way of saying he's retiring, which to me would make more sense.
If he's going to straight up retire,
why release him?
And if the team was like, hey, we're going to release you, he's like, well, guys, wait a day and I'll retire.
Yeah.
Like, why did get released and then retire?
I don't know. Is there a bookkeeping thing with the cap? I don't pretend to know enough about it, but that's my hope. Because if he plays somewhere else, this is a head-scratching, questionable, and I think bad move by the Patriots.
One of the few guys I want them to keep.
Right.